to welcome you guys to the ROD podcast, where only the facts shall set you free. Are you dumb or are you dumb? And I'ma holler at y'all. It's the Honorable Junns, not a Bantu or a Jew. Welcome back to the Redeem or Destroy podcast, where we deal with facts over belief and awaken the minds of the kidnapped worldwide. Tonight's topic, they admit it, guys. America's collapse is being engineered by the elites. Now, before you think this is some conspiracy talk, understand this is strategy. Psychological warfare, isn't fought with guns anymore. It's fought with headlines, media, and of course, repetition. Okay? So tonight, we're breaking down the confession, the tactics, and the impact of a system built to make Americans, especially Black Americans, feel broken, defeated, and dependent. Okay? So let's get into it. Please, let's get into it. So I'm gonna play this video. And after this video, I'm gonna give you guys the 311. So let's tune in. Check it out.
What's up, everybody? It's Angel Dust. Why does America look like shit? Well, we want it to look like shit. We want it to feel like shit to live in, and we do it on purpose. This is how we sell you consumerism. When scientists wanted to study addiction in the 1970s, they did a bunch of experiments giving rats the option to either have heroin water or have normal water. And of course, all the rats were addicted to the heroin water, until they learned that in an environment with healthy social relationships, other rats, plenty of things to do, plenty of food, the rats never picked the heroin. Because if you were surrounded by nature and other people and healthy relationships and walkable communities and so on, you wouldn't form a relationship with Starbucks. You wouldn't form a relationship with Target. You wouldn't constantly use these things as this comfort blanket of, well, everything sucks, but at least I can go do this. At least I can pay for this. Like a tiny sliver of experience. And this is why capitalism is so exacerbated in America. Because we're a young country, we don't have culture. We don't have history. We're not like Europe or Asia. You are literally founded on slavery, mass integration, and just a melting pot of all these different people. Right? And here's the kicker. We taught you all to hate each other for your differences. Because if you hate the people you're in prison with, you'll never break out. Peace, blessings, shine on.
Well, should I play that again? Or should I proceed to speak my mind? Because my mind is my nine. And we're about to... But I'll play it again. I'll play it again for those that, just now tuning in. Let's play it one more time. Check it out, guys.
What's up, everybody? It's Angel Dust. Why does America look like shit? Well, we want it to look like shit. We want it to feel like shit to live in, and we do it on purpose. This is how we sell you consumerism. When scientists wanted to study addiction in the 1970s, they did a bunch of experiments giving rats the option to either have heroin water or have normal water. And of course, all the rats were addicted to the heroin water, until they learned that in an environment with healthy social relationships, other rats, plenty of things to do, plenty of food, the rats never picked the heroin. Because if you were surrounded by nature and other people and healthy relationships and walkable communities and so on, you wouldn't form a relationship with Starbucks. You wouldn't form a relationship with Target. You wouldn't constantly use these things as this comfort blanket of, well, everything sucks, but at least I can go do this. At least I can pay for this. Like a tiny sliver of experience. And this is why capitalism is so exacerbated in America. Because we're a young country, we don't have culture. We don't have history. We're not like Europe or Asia. You are literally founded on slavery, mass integration, and just a melting pot of all these different people. Right? And here's the kicker. We taught you all to hate each other for your differences. Because if you hate the people you're in prison with, you'll never break out. Peace, blessings, shine on.
So we paused that. You heard it for yourself. They're not hiding it. They're bragging about it. He said, we're making America feel like shit on purpose. And guess what? It's working. Depression is up. Self-worth is down. Families divided. Men's lost. Women are exhausted. Children are confused. This is not coincidence, guys. This is construction, okay? A system built to break the spirit of a nation so it can be rebuilt in submission, okay? And a lot of you guys like to cleave on to the, you know, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Listen, the Bill of Rights, and this goes out to the Europeans, the ones that, bear arms and all of that. Listen, the Constitution was created for rich folks, rich Europeans, to protect rich Europeans. If you're not in the bracket of the rich Europeans, you will suffer just like everybody else. And as you guys are seeing, they are setting up the stage to remove the power to bear arms. When the power of bearing arms is removed, this is when you're going to see hell break loose. When that Constitution gets removed, because according to the Patriot Act overrides the Constitution. The Patriot Act overrides the Constitution. And how does the Patriot Act get summons through so-called terrorist attack, whether it's foreign or domestic? That's when the Patriot Act gets unleashed. And when it's unleashed, you will see that even you guys, like he said, we are divided, intentional. Hatred amongst each other, intentional. All of this is intentional, because if we're beefing with each other, we will never see who the true enemies are. If we're arguing about beliefs and what I believe, it goes against what you believe. And because of that, we are at odds. We are at difference. You will never believe or never see the fact that this ideology was forced upon you. This religion was forced upon you, given to you. Okay? Told you that this is what you're supposed to worship. And anything outside of that is considered evil, wicked, and demonic. Now you ask yourself, are we not under some level of control? You must ask yourself, have we not submit ourselves to this ideology? Do you guys know, according to the Constitution, even though I said what I said, the Constitution was supposedly built so there will not be no tyrant government. And when the government becomes a tyrant government, we as the people have the right to remove them. We talking from the president all the way down to the board members in your community. But when you are being programmed to be in submission, when you are being programmed to pay attention to the media violence, you ever notice that every time you turn on the news, there's some level of violence? There's always throwing some fear at you. There's always throwing some racial tension at you. There's always throwing something at you to make you stay on the side of the fence and at odds, even though we are all crabs in the barrel, while the people that's literally orchestrating all of this is sitting back watching like the puppet master they are. Okay? The psychological of demoralization. Okay? Yes, you are demoralizing. You are being demoralized, okay? Demoralization isn't accidental, people. It is design. It's the art of breaking a people without even touching them. This is what you guys are seeing. We are being broken, and these people don't even have to touch us. All they got to do is cause the problem, throw out a suggestion, put the law for the suggesting, come up with a suggestion, and then create a law that protects the solution. And the solution is not even a solution. It's a humane pollution. You understand? Meaning too much breathing in that foolishness, you might suffocate, which you are seeing now. High rise of depression, like I said. High rise. High rise of people no longer want to live. People is jumping in front of trains now. People is jumping out of windows now. People is unaliving not only themselves, but the entire family. This is happening in real time, guys. In real time. Okay? Again, it's the art of breaking people without touching them. You don't need change no more when you have confusion. Let me say that again. You do not need chains around your neck anymore when you have confusion. Why do I have to physically hurt you? Why do I have to physically enslave you when I got control of your mind? Remember what I told you. He that controls the mind controls the spine. Okay? Okay? If I can control your mind, I can navigate where to walk. I can tell you where to live. I can tell you what to drink. I can tell you what to eat. I can tell you anything. And all you're going to be is just like the little rats he was talking about. There was a program that took place. I forgot the exact name. Where in this program, they took a bunch of rats, similar to what he was saying. And they allowed the rats to run freely, gave the rats everything. Food, water, shelter, gave it everything. And they sat back and watched these rats literally produce a large colony of rats. And then they turned off the giving. There was no more food. There was no more shelter. There was no more nothing. They took all that away. And they studied. And they watched how the rats was attacking each other. They watched how the female rats was cleaving on to the masculine rats. Similar to what you guys are witnessing right now. You see, it's bigger than what you guys are thinking. It's bigger, like, oh man, yo. Yeah, Jordan, everything that you're saying, bro, 100% factual. But we gotta understand that these people are literally sitting back like a puppet master on a string. And guess who are the puppets? That's why as I do more studies and I do more research and I start going down this rabbit hole, not only do I come to the understanding that religion is nothing more than a literally a control tool. That's why they tell you the word or the book is a weapon. It's literally a control mechanism. When I go down the school system and I'm trying to figure out how is the school being pushed upon the people, but yet the American people education level is not even top 10 in the world. And then when you go down that rabbit hole, you will see that it's not, the school system is literally preparing our children for two things: a good paying job or imprisonment. When you see the scenery of schools, what does that remind you of? It reminds you of jail. The yellow school bus. When you gotta go from, check this out, when you gotta go from the prison to the courthouse because you gotta go to court, you are in a bus. What color is the bus? It is white. What color is the school bus? Is yellow. What's the length? What's the size? How many chairs? The same thing. When you go inside the prison complex, what are you doing? You're working, you're cleaning, and then they give you 30, 40, or maybe an hour of free time. And you go outside, you work out, you play basketball, what they do in school. Children get 30, 40 hour time of recess. Then they go inside. And they got to go right back to working. So again, you don't need change when you have confusion. You don't need prison when you have propaganda. Okay? When you teach generations to hate where they come from, They will never fight for where they are. You understand me? The entire playbook, guys, is an emotional warfare. Kill hope, erase identity, and flood the culture with what? Distractions. Like the Charles Kirk, distractions. P. Diddy, distractions. And I'm telling you guys this right now. All of this is a distraction. All of this is lies. All of it. They know it, you feel it. But because they have made the world such shit, right? Because according to the universal law, you are what you eat. So when you intaking all that sugar, your dopamine is on high. How can you have the paralysis to see the bitterness of this world? Oh my G. How can you taste the bitterness of this world when your dopamine is being filled with sugar? Everything that's around you right now is to feed your dopamine. Let me tell you guys something. All this parasites, you know, when you got the craving for sugar, it's because it's parasites. No. The people that you see eating clean are the ones that's been disconnected from the earth, meaning they don't wake up and on social media. They don't wake up and want to see what's on TikTok. They don't care what's going on Facebook. They don't go watch the propaganda that's on the news. The only reason why I even involve myself in these phones and being on YouTube is because I am a brand. I have a business. This is a business that you guys see here. And I have to inform the people. I have to educate the people, especially the black and brown people, because the black and brown people are the ones getting the short end of the stick. Because even though the system is rigged to the point where the Europeans will always be good, though they will always be catered to before you, because you are the lab rats. Remember the color of the rat. Remember the food that they feed you is the same foods they feed the rats. Remember the trials that they use they put it in the rats, they're giving it to you. Okay? The media is the weapon now. Media and religion and these churches are the weapons now. Okay? You got montage of news. Headlines are trending chaos. Everywhere you look, chaos. Just last year, when the whole Gaza and Israel nonsense was taking place, what's that man's name? Sean King, that's his name. He started talking about it. They clipped him. Now nobody knows what's going on. You understand? That's what you see now. You had Sean Bell. You have George Floyd. What else? What else? You got Tamir Rice. You got what's the other one? You got, what's the boy's name? Trayvon Martin. The list goes on. The list goes on. And we complain, we cry, we say this is this is that. The media does not inform. It affects every story is engineered for emotional control. That's why I tell people, stop involving your emotions. Never put emotions in anything you see, hear, or feel. You can't have emotions in a battlefield because you will be destroyed. You guys may not see that you are in a battlefield, but these people know because they do things to remind you that you are in a battlefield. Okay? They know that fear sells. They know that anger divides. They know that confusion keeps you what? Scrolling. Keep scrolling up, scrolling down. Why you think all of these things is about scrolling up, scrolling down? Why you think the mass majority of our people is like this? We are like this. 80% of the time of our days, we are like this. 80%. You heard me. I said 80%. And even that, I feel like is too low. We're like this all the time. I'm watching police officers who swore to protect and watch the community is on their phones all day, sitting in their cars, standing on the corner, in the stores, on their phones. I'm watching bus drive. Well, not the bus driver, because the bus driver got the camera right in front of them. If you're caught if you're caught on camera with your phone, you lose your job. But I'm watching these things. I'm watching people that's doing construction. The people that's supposed to navigate, tell the cars to stop, go, are having one thing in their hand, the phone in the other hand. I'm watching this. We are watching. This is what became the normalcy of humanity now. Huh? They keep you reacting so you never start thinking. That's not journalism, people. That's psychological operation designed as entertainment. All of this foolishness that you guys seeing, this is all CIA ops. All of it. From the balloon popping. Let me let you know when you know that this is them that got their hands in it. When you notice that it's never the Jewish, the Arabs, or the Chinese, you will never find any show, anything that's literally going against their so-called now I don't want to say so-called. You will never see things that is dividing the man from the woman. You will never see that ever. Ever. But when it comes to you, and when it comes to your low grade Europeans, the low class, oh yeah. They're gonna give you the Ozzy Osbournes. Oh, trust me. They're gonna give you the things that's gonna make you live on the edge. Trust me. But the people that's running the show, their lineage, their DNA, you would never ever hear on the news that there was a divorce taking place with the Rothschilds. You would never hear that. You would never hear Putin and his family having a divorce. You would never hear that. True word. You would never hear that, guys. Okay? Economic and the cultural breakdown. While you're focusing on trends, they're manipulating your livelihood. Inflations, rent spikes, layoffs, all tools of control. This man came into office and within 24 hours, that man said, I'm putting trife on everybody. I didn't even know such word even exists until that moment. And I'm sure you guys didn't know that exists as well. What the heck is a trife? What are you putting? I'm trifing this, that. Why? What is that? For who? What's the reason? What's the purpose? What's the longevity behind such decision? Huh? The poor are being punished. The rich are being protected. And the middle class, well, is there even a middle class left? Is there even a middle class left? You said, I have never been controlled by man. Now all black people are created equal. So let me ask you a question, Pimpin. Can you get up? Can you get up right now and take your whole family and leave? Can you sustain yourself without having their money, which is their face? Can you leave and just live your life without any connections or any ties to these people? Because if you need their paper, right, something that they printed with their face, and they determine the value of what they printed, you're still under their control. Yeah, you're under their control. If you're not, if what you're saying, if you don't have a house full of gold, I'm talking about like John Wick. Like I tell you guys this all the time. Watch the movie John Wick thoroughly, bro. Please put everything aside. Forget what I'm saying. Watch the movie John Wick. You will understand who's running the show. You will understand what's being used to run the show, and you will really understand what equities is really being used. You guys thinking this money that the Floyd Mayweathers and that, no, that's for the slaves. That's not for the rich. The elites don't make transactions with paper. They make transactions with gold. That's why Queen Elizabeth, right? And I don't want to call her queen, but she had thousands of gold bonds just in her basement. Vatican as well. These two places are what? Are one of the primary sources into enslavement. They are the ones that invested into slavery. Huh? And again, you know, and again, this is just stating the facts. You know what I'm saying? We all feel like we are free, but in reality, we not. Your freedom, you're not free if everybody else that looks like you is not in that same position. And I'm not talking about just like me and you. I'm talking about your family. I'm talking about your aunties. I'm talking about your uncle. I'm talking about being able to trace your lineage all the way back to the very beginning, to the very core root of where they took you. If you don't have access to that, bro, you're still under their control. Okay? They call it the market, but it's a machine designed to make you chase survival. Okay? Not sovereignty, people. This is economic warfare, not mismanagement. What you see going on around you is all by design. I've been telling you guys this for years. It's all by design. They make you choose a side of religion, knowing that both these religions was the ones that literally had their hands in our demise. You understand? They got you reading their books. They got you reading their history. They're the ones that told you that you are this and you are that. And when you need justification, you got to go to them for the resource. That right there, you're not free. You're under their control. That means your whole ideology and how you perceive life is what they want you to perceive life. That's their control. We have to admit that. We have to admit that. It's his story that you're learning. If you, like I said just 5 minutes ago, if you can't connect yourself back to the very core, the very beginning of your existence, you are under their control. If you believe anything, well, I'm this, I'm that, you're under their control. If you can pinpoint the exact location where the very first person of your ancestors created you, the area, the location, you're under their control. Because every information that you have received in your lifetime is from them. Okay? Let's talk about the real meaning of Illuminati control. Huh? When people hear Illuminati, they think symbols and secrets. Oh my gosh! Oh, Allah! You know, the brother started off saying, you know, let me pull it up just a bit. You know what I'm saying? Why do black people who like Mother effing Doom always believe in the Illuminati? There you go. They think it's symbols, secrets, but the real power isn't in hiding anymore. It is in plain sight. They're showing you. Whether you watching BT, Whether you watching BT, whether you watching a movie, whether you listen on the radio, they're going to give you a reminder. It's in plain sight. They're not hiding it. They're not afraid of, listen, we as the people has become expendable. Right now in 2025, we have officially been viewed as an experiment. When these people felt comfortable to stand on a podium and say it's mandatory for you to be situated in order for you to work, that was the sign to let you know that you are expendable. You are no longer needed. And anybody that's left standing, your competition will be AI generated robots. You seeing where we're going. They said by 2030, they don't want nobody driving. I believe that to be true because everywhere I look, I'm seeing more bike lanes. I'm seeing more shared cars taking up parking space. I'm seeing more regulations, more penalties for driving fast. Driving 35 miles per hour is considered fast, too fast in New York City. They're taking everything away. They want you to just literally be the experiment that they want you to be. You think you really think that you're not an experiment? You think when they sell you these high radiation phones or these high frequency radiation AirPods, these iPhones, these iWatches, that's literally sticking to your skin, knowing that your skin is the biggest organism on the face of this earth. And what you put on your skin can cause damage to you long term. When you see that they're promoting women to put eyelashes on, makeup on their face, wigs on their face, you wasn't born doing that. This is you being under their control. You was not born doing that. This is facts, people. They determine what's fashion for you. We went from wearing Carl Kanais, FUBU. We went from wearing all of that. Rockaware, Sean John. We went from wearing black people clothes to now we're fighting and competing with European. A woman won't even talk to you if you don't got a Gucci belt on. A woman won't even look at you or even give you the time of day if you don't got some Balenciagos on your feet. Back in the days, a woman wouldn't even give you a time of day if you didn't have work boots on. Now, having work boots on is considered disgusting. Who taught you that? Who told you to do that? Who told you to embrace that ideology? You have no control. So when my brother said that no man controls me, it's like, really? 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 Can you get up? Can you sustain with none of their devices? Can you function without none of their products, meaning none of their food? Can you farm? Do you have to go to their supermarkets to buy fruits, vegetables? They control you. Are you gardening your own food? Are you fishing your own food? Are you neutering your own cows? Are you or are you not? If you're not doing that, I'm sorry. You are under their control. And this is not, and listen, people, listen, let's get this clear. This is not an attack because you are under control. I am under control. But the purpose of this video is to know that we under control. And it's time for us to say, you know what? I got to break free out of this. You know what? This is a dub. That's the whole purpose. Look at me right now. I'm on their platforms. If they don't like what I'm saying, they could turn it off. If they perceive what I'm saying to be too anti, you know what? They can turn it off. I can get hit with a strike. I can lose the privilege to go online. They will put you on timeout. You are under their control. It's in plain sight now, guys. Corporation, governments, entertainment, all align in their narratives. They show you their symbols because they know you won't act. They know we're not going to do nothing. They know all we're going to do is we're going to talk about it. We're going to say that's wrong. We're going to say, man, we got to get up out of that. Then we're going to laugh about it. We're going to smoke a blunt, and then we're going to go through our regular day. Go right back into the gerbil, the hamster wheel. You're going to go right back to it. They know that. Because they put so much things out there that it makes you not want to take anything bitter. I told you that. Your dopamine is being overfed. You're being overstimulated of dopamine food. What you think the commercials is selling you? Dopamine food. What you think TikTok is selling you? Dopamine food. It's all to feed your dopamine. Because what happens when your dopamine is fed? You're content. You're comfortable. You feel good. You say, man, that joint was delicious. You know what? I want to go back there again tomorrow. And when you are in that state of mind, you are in a state of happiness. Even though you are enslaved, you are in a state of happiness. When I speak to people behind closed doors and we have these conversations, you know what they say to me? They say, yo, bro, everything that you're saying is factual, bro. But I can't afford to stand up against that. I got bills. I got a family. But yet, what you're saying is facts. So, of course, when I say what I'm saying, they're doing it now because they know you ain't gonna do nothing about it. All you're gonna do is debate it, laugh about it, and then what, guys? You're going to move on. You're going to proceed with your everyday life. You're going to get on the train early in the morning. You're going to hop in your car early in the morning. And I don't like to say the word morning. So early in the AM, you're going to hop in your vehicle to get where? To that job that you despise, around people you can't stand. But you got to tolerate it because you ain't got no choice. Huh? That's what you call control. That's the control a society to distract, to defend itself. Okay? Okay? Now, if you want to know how to resist this mental warfare, you guys know what you got to do. Step 1, disconnect. We need a worldwide detoxification from everything. From McDonald's, from Facebook, from social media, from every electronic, video games, music, movies, anything. We need a disconnection, a detox. And what do you do while you're detoxing? We need to start connecting back to Mother Nature. We need to start connecting back to human nature. Start talking to each other. Say, hi. How are you? Hope you have a pleasant day. When a man approaches a sister, don't look with a state of disgust like, please don't try to come talk to me. Yes, I'm talking to you. I don't want to have a relationship with you. I just want you to know that I'm acknowledging your beauty. I am acknowledging your strength. I'm acknowledging your trauma that you're suppressing, that you're enduring. I'm acknowledging your endurance. Yes. Yes. Put down the nonsense. Step 2, like I said, we got to reconnect with real people. Step 3, guard your mind like it's sacred, because it is. You must put yourself in God mode. Meaning you do not settle yourself short for effery. You always keep yourself on high vibration. That's what God is. Isn't God in the sky? Don't you want your vibration to reach the sky? Which means that you must always elevate yourself by any means necessary. And the only way to get to that space is by detoxifying yourself from the things that they gave you to taste. They gave you to read. They gave you to study. They gave you to like. Listen, since they're controlling the way that we love each other, the very people that put shackles on your neck is now telling you what you should be looking for in a man, what should you be looking for in a woman. These are the wrong things to do. And then guess what? While they teaching you that, they're also giving you Tyler Perry, who's a man, giving you all these female stories. They're also giving you these shows. I had my whiz laying on the bed on the couch watching a show, and the wife and the husband got into a little situation, and the wife said, "Oh yeah, just an FYI, we having a divorce, and you will be hearing from my lawyers real soon." The guy was so shocked. He said, "A divorce?" But think about that. Think about who's writing this script to feed this narrative to the people. And then I want you to then think about the ladies that are sitting there, the women that are sitting there watching these shows, who's already at odds with their husband, and say, "You know what? Maybe that's something I need to do. Maybe I need to get a divorce." And then guess what? What you guys don't understand is when you make an oath, a commitment, right? You're saying, "I'm with you till death do us part." This is what you're saying. And when you break that oath before any one of you guys are unalive or died and see or make a transition, right? You ever notice that those people's lives is always miserable? You ever notice that as they get older, they end up being by themselves? You don't find that suspicious? Let me play that for you.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Huh? You don't find that suspicious? That they end up being bitter old with cats? Or they live with their family members? They end up losing it all. They got to be with their relatives. They got to be with somebody. You don't find that suspicious? Huh? Every time you choose knowledge over noise, you weaken their grips. Let me say that. Though those that's tuning in right now, listening to what I'm saying, you are the ones that's seeking knowledge. You are the ones that's understanding what I'm saying. You are the ones that's seeing what I'm seeing. And it's just a breath of fresh air that somebody is actually seeing and feeling what I've been feeling. It's a breath of fresh air. It's not by coincidence. It's not by design. It's intentional. Because every time you seek wisdom, we getting closer and closer to breaking these shackles. This is why they put this man in office for you guys. Yes, part of it is to the protection of the protection and the preservation of the complexion. We know that. But also it was put there to cause chaos and conflict and division amongst people. You don't see how divided the whole entire America been since this man been in office? You don't find that suspicious?
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
You don't? You think this trife came out of nowhere? Like I said earlier, what the heck is that? I've never heard that. For all the years I've been on this earth, I've never heard that. I've never even heard a president say that until this man came. And with that being said, who's being affected? You know he's also part of that brotherhood too, right? Huh? Think about that. Every time you think before you react, you reclaim control. You don't see everybody's crashing out. You don't see that everybody is just following trends. We're talking the same. We're acting the same. We're perceiving life the same. We thinking we didn't make it if you're not traveling and balling and buying this. You thinking that you thinking that you're wasting time with your life. It's all by design. Look at how we, and I'm speaking mainly for the black people right now. Look at how we react. Today, just earlier today, I went to the Journey store. I'm gonna give you a little story, right? I went to the Journeys. For those that don't know, Journey is like a shoe store. I went in there. My Wiz purchased something. I went in there, and as I'm in there, they didn't have her order. And I call her. I'm like, yo, boom, 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 boom. And her reaction is like, yo, man, F that, boom, 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 boom. Like, I'm already agitated. And in my mind, I'm like, nah, baby girl, you gotta relax. It's not that deep. People do make mistakes. It's life. It's human error. This is what we do. We're gonna always make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Not even your Jesus was perfect. They told you he was perfect. He wasn't perfect. Because he told you that if you believe in me, you shall have eternal life. All you guys is dying. It's not perfect. It's okay. It's not perfect. You understand? And when she was getting irate, and she was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. She said to me, yo, you have so much patience. Because if it was me, I would have already clipped it. It would have been over. Give me my refund. And it's like, nah, hun, you got to think before you react. There's a time and place for every reaction. And that reaction that you displayed wasn't necessary for that environment. It wasn't. Your job was to just be humble and be cool, calm. And if they made a mistake, you know that you're going to get a refund. You just got to sit back and wait. And these are the things that you must do. So yes, every time you think before you react, you reclaim and control just a little bit. But the most dangerous person to a corrupt system is a man or a woman who can still think freely. Let me say that again for you guys. The most dangerous person to a corrupt system is a man or woman who could still think freely, who does not allow their emotions to get the best of them. This is why the news keep feeding you guys these propagandas. It's to keep you under a spiritual, emotional cycle. What was it? Cyclone? It's just a whirlwind. How can you think freely when you are in that state? How can you judge accordingly when you're in that state? How can you develop patience, love, unity, and protection and preservedness amongst a community when you're in that state? I had to tell a sister today. I said, I forgot what we was talking about. And I asked, I said, yo, you be watching the news a lot? She started laughing. She said, well, why you figured that? I was like, based on your response and how you perceive certain things, you sound like somebody that watches the news a lot. And like I tell you guys, turn off the news. I'm going to follow me on the Life Coach. I'm going to start the Life Coach. I'm putting the website together. I'm creating the social media. And I'm going to give you the 4 core principles that you guys need to follow in order to better you, to become a better person. Because this is coming out of hand. It's getting too out of hand. Okay? So in closing, guys, I need you guys to always stay awoke. Stay focused. Okay? Okay? They said we're making America feel like shit. But here's what they didn't plan for: the awakening. You're not broken. You are just being targeted. And awareness, and your awareness is your weapon. Paying attention and seeing what's going on is your awareness. Understanding that now the focal point is the children. And when you stand before that, like I said, you must get in front of everything so you will not receive the backlash. Okay? But before I conclude, is there any questions? God doesn't, where's God? Who? You see, this is what I'm saying. Where's God? Where's God? This God that you're talking about, who gave you that God? Let me know. Where's God? You gotta ask yourself this question, Pimpin, where's God? Is it the God that they gave you, or is it a God that you can trace back to the very beginning of your existence? I'm talking, and I'm not talking about you per se. I'm talking about your existence, your blood, your bloodline. Are you able to trace that back? The creators of all, listen, I totally agree. But do you honestly know who the God is? Because the fact that you use the word God, you know God was in reference to dog, right? You are aware of that. I mean, look, I appreciate you just tuning in, but you really gotta sit down. You gotta, you know what we have to do as men and women. We need to start sitting down with like-minded individuals. We have to sit down with like-minded individuals, and we have to open up the books. But while opening up the books, we all gotta put the phones down. We need to really start tapping in and trying to uncover who we really are. Because I will no longer accept the fact, I'm not gonna call myself African American, because that's a title that they gave me. I'm not gonna call myself Jamaican or a Haitian or whatever. That's the title that they gave me. And when people, don't you know that the person that gives you a name is the one that controls you? Why you think when they brought you into America, the first thing that they did, you seen the movie Shaka Zulu, right? What's your name? Kunta. No, your name is no longer Kunta. Your name is Toby. I'm gonna beat you into accepting the name as Toby. What is your last name? Do your last name goes back into an African root? Whether it's in Africa, whether it's in America, does it go back to that? Or does it go back to the plantation? If it goes back to the plantation, then we are still under their control. Think about it. Think about it. If it goes back to the plantation, you're still under their control. Hell, I turn it up a notch for you, pimpin'. If you got a social security, if you got a driver's license, if you have a birth certificate, guess what? You're still under their control. Yeah. And in order for you to break out of this so-called birth certificate, you got to pay a $50,000 fee. Yes, 50,000 for every person that's born. It's a $50,000 bond that's placed on your head. That's a $50,000 debt that you must pay back. That's why if they was to go to war and they open up a draft, you are required to join. And if you don't join, you are going to be thrown in jail because you're not keeping your end of the bargain. I'm just saying. I believe you. Listen. Even the term right there, you said spirit. They the one that gave you spirit. You have control over your soul. Your soul is connected to the solar universe. Your soul is connected to the solar universe. You see animals? Animals don't have a spirit. Animals have a soul. They're connected to the soil, just like your soul is connected to the solar universe, just like you came from the soil of the ground. You see, they don't feed you this because the word spirit comes with religion. They gave you that. That is true. That is true. That is true. That is true. But we need to have control over our soul. Put down these terminologies as spirits and oh, I gotta be in the spirit. That's under control. That's why, what's the first thing that they teach you when you come into their religion? They say, my brother, you gotta be in the spirit. Do you accept such and such? If you accept such and such, then what? What comes over you? The Holy Spirit. You hear the key word? Holy, holy. I hold you to me. That's control. Take back your spirit. Take back your mind. He that controls the mind controls the spine. And you can never press rewind when you control your mind. You understand? So with that being said, people, please like, comment, share. If you follow me on social media, I appreciate it. Shout out to you, my brother, for tuning in. Please follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Rumble. Follow me on TikTok. Get yourself some merchandise. Hold on. Let me show you guys some merchandise. Hold on. I'm gonna show this on every video. This is my lady's hat right here. Okay, you see that? You see that? You see that? It says the voice of the El Kebulane kidnaps. Hold on, that's one. Let me show you my personal favorite. I'm gonna show you guys my personal favorite. Hold on. Look. I didn't even unwrap it, guys. I didn't even unwrap it. Look, you see that? It's still in the package for you. I'm waiting for a special occasion. I'm going to a Black African American in Harlem on Saturday. They're having a town meeting, council meeting, and I want to participate. You know, I don't want to be like these YouTubers that just come on here to just talk. I want you guys to see the actions. I want you guys to see me at work because I really do this in real time. This is what I do in real life. I am a certified life coach. I do this in real time. If you guys need sessions, if you guys need progress, you guys need anything, you let me know. I promise you I'll get you right. I promise you. Check this out though. You see it? You see it? I know. Maybe if I put it on my head. Hold on. There we go. There we go. You see that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got the ROD logo on the back. You know what I'm saying? Support the movement. We got the sweaters, the t-shirts. We got everything coming out, man. We got the TikTok shop fully functioning. We gonna put more merchandise on it. Support it. We're not playing with these people. We're not playing. If these people is gonna make this world look like shit, well, we're gonna be the ones to put the the milk of magnesium, because we're gonna flush it all out. You heard? We're gonna flush it all out. We're gonna put the detox. We're gonna be the sea moss. We're gonna be the sour sap. We're gonna be that. They're not gonna. We're not gonna allow these people to make what we call home feel like shit anymore. And it's videos like this, it's conversations like that we're going to have. You understand? It's conversations like this that we're going to have, that we need to have. It's lives like this that needs to be every day, every night. So we no longer gonna be pointing fingers at each other. We no longer gonna wait for atrocity to happen for us to unify. No, we're gonna start the unifying from now. We're gonna start the conversation from now. We're not waiting for another tragedy. We're not waiting for another pandemic. We're not waiting for that. We're going to be prepared for it. We got to be as prepared for it as the brothers and sisters was when the Black Wall Street was fully functionable. See, you guys don't know that when the Black Wall Street was fully functionable, this is when the so-called Great Depression was taking place. You know, the only people that wasn't depressed was the black people. And that's why they supposedly dropped the bombs. Because they needed black people to comply to institute what? The Social Security Act. And once they start putting you on their Social Security, guess who's in control? Everything is by design. Nothing is a coincidence. I repeat, nothing is a coincidence. So I say all that to say this: love, peace, joy. Stand 10 toes down on righteousness. Stand 10 toes down. And last but not least, respect your DNA. It's your brother, man. You understand? And I'ma holler at y'all. One.